challenge is called Unfinished Loop, Bug Fixing number 1. Oh no, Timmy's created an infinite loop. Help Timmy find and fix the bug in his unfinished for loop. So they really narrowed it down for you there. This is like some other challenges we've done where they kind of have a half implementation or mostly implemented, but some mistakes. Go ahead and pause it. You should be able to handle this one. Okay. Remember, they even pointed to the for loop in the instructions. You should recall from the for loop that there are 3 parts to it. You don't have to use all of them, but they're there. We have this sort of, the first part of the for loop, right, is this sort of initializer that we can do. A lot of times we go int I, but it's very good to give a meaningful name like they did here, counter instead. And then you've got the second part. Remember, each is terminated by a semicolon that divide the 3 parts of a for loop. The next part, you have this sort of condition that determines when the loop stops. And that seems pretty relevant here, right, when we're talking about infinite loops. That's not quite the problem with this one, but you can see that the counter should not exceed the value of number. Notice they started at 1 and then did a less than or equal to the point they wanted to stop at. It's the same difference we do when we start at 0 and just use the less than sign and not the less than or equal. But note that they didn't terminate it with a semicolon. And then finally, if you remember, there's a third part that's sort of a update statement where we usually do something where we increment the counter. But we learned you can decrement, you can go by 2s, you can sort of update your counter variable however you like. But this will round out the for loop. And do you understand why it would loop infinitely before? Essentially, imagine this part isn't here, like it wasn't. And then you're going into the for loop, your counter value is 1. You add that 1 to the list. You come back to your next step, but nothing incremented counter, right? So it's 1 again. And so if you passed in a number that was, 1, 2, 3, your counter's 1 every time, and you just keep adding the number 1 to the list, and you never break out. So you could try running that. The system should time out on you if you do that. But yeah, that's why it never broke out. So be sure you're updating your variable every time, otherwise it just stays at the same value, and as long as it's less than or equal to number, it just keeps going indefinitely. So I think that should be enough. I don't like how they didn't really check the number. I mean, what if you got some garbage like -2? You could add, I noticed other people started modifying these more than necessary, so I could say if number is less than 1, maybe that's an error. And exception. You can do something like that. You don't have to, just something. So I'll test. Looks good. Yep, we'll do the attempt. Still good. Okay, yeah, hopefully you cranked that one out. Not too difficult, just got to know your for loops. I'll submit, collect our Caillou. And yeah, it should, hopefully it reminded you, we've used this and talked about this enumerable range in the past where you can just generate that sequence from this call. You don't need to make a for loop and add to a list each time. So hopefully you remembered that. You could have just replaced everything if you wanted to. I tried to do the fix like they said. So, see if Alana, yeah, like we did, right? They used the postfix notation. They put it, I like to do it on the left side to pre-increment the value if I can, It's possibly more efficient. Yeah, another enumerable range. Yeah. It's not a lot going on there. Hopefully you got that one. We'll see you in the next challenge. Thanks.